Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Illegal Pancakes podcast, where we talk about random stuff. So here is a random, unscheduled podcast about, a couple mishmash topics that I guess are kind of related, but not really.
So here we go. We've got the hottest news. We got Resident Evil. We got Clarice. We got The Medium. All three coming to you live. Well, I guess it's not live anymore because it's a recorded podcast. Coming to you on the internet.
Yeah, but let's just cut to the chase. So, back on I think it was the 21st of January, Capcom had a Resident Evil showcase and revealed to us a couple of new games. Well, I shouldn't say a couple, it's more like one game and then like another mode within the same game. So, we got a new trailer for Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8. This is a direct sequel to RE7 Biohazard.
So answer me this, because I know nothing about Resident Evil 7, just because I didn't care about Resident Evil when that game came out. Isn't that one kind of like a reboot of the franchise? Because I know that 5 and 6 are supposed to be like really bad. And there was like Operation Raccoon City, which I heard wasn't very good. But then I heard that one was supposed to be like the return to Resident Evil. Is that true?
So yeah, it's in a way it is. It's more survival horror, like in the traditional aspect, as opposed to being more about action, like 4, 5, and 6 were. Like, I'll even throw 4 under the bus a bit because it's a little bit more action-y than the games that came before it. But yeah, the only weird thing is, like I said, it was in first person, but it feels a lot like the original 2, like with the more limited movement and stuff like that. So yeah, like the only real thing is, like, that's the only real change to it.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised when I saw that it was in first person because obviously the ones I'm used to are the third-person ones, and the last 2 remakes they made were both in third-person as well, so going into first-person is kind of interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, originally it was so they could have something to sell for the, like the PSVR, I think. That was, like, one of the big gimmicks. Sense. But yeah. But no, like, I've played 7. It's pretty fun. It's, really hard, though. But yeah, so this new game, Village, is a direct sequel to that. You're playing as the same guy. Really, I think the only thing that is like super different other than the setting and then the enemies and characters, I assume, is you have an inventory system more similar to Resident Evil 4. It's like you got like this grid-based system where you can kind of rearrange stuff. It looks like
this one's going to be a little more action-based as well. There was a couple like gameplay shots I saw where he was like shooting down like 5, 6, 7 enemies at a time.
Yeah, that kind of happens in 7.
Yeah.
It's still slow paced because you gotta aim for like the head or like weak points. But yeah.
On the topic of that, I think they have 2 modes on this. There's like the main story mode, and then I forget what the other one's called, but it's like it's more survival horror. Like you can't hide. You don't have any weapons or anything. And it's like a separate campaign. Are you familiar with this?
Are you talking about the demo that came out?
Maybe? I don't know.
Okay,
I thought in the video I thought I saw, they said there was going to be like 2 separate campaigns, and one of them you don't have any weapons.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they did do that with the 7th game. There were a couple different there were several different like story campaign modes. A lot of them were kind of short. They're like a one-off thing or like just single scenarios. And some of those you weren't armed at all. So yeah, I'm not surprised. But there was a demo that came out. I think it was the same day as the showcase. Might have been a couple days afterwards, called Maiden, which was sort of like it didn't have. I wouldn't say proof of concept, but playable demo. You're unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you played, I don't think the character that you played as was even named.
Looked cool. Looked spooky.
Yeah, it definitely looks spooky. One thing I like about it is the setting, because it's set in Romania.
Oh yeah, the setting is awesome. It's Dracula's castle pretty much.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil has always been about vampires, not vampires. It's always been about zombies. So the fact that they're throwing vampires into the mix, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice addition. I'm totally pro that. I hope they put Frankenstein in it as well.
Yeah, that'd be really weird. Because yeah, the funny thing about the 7th game was that it was more like a slasher,
Oh,
like
really?
a slasher type of horror. Like, oh, maybe not slasher, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that style of horror, as opposed to like the more, I would say, like sci-fi horror of the past games.
Yeah.
But yeah, now this one's going like full on gothic horror almost, which is crazy. But I dig it.
No, I mean, especially with like a franchise like Resident Evil that has like probably like 10 games to its name now. I mean, you have to do stuff like that to keep it fresh, so it doesn't just get like lost in the sea of other games,
Yeah. So speaking of vampires, one of the big things to come out of this one of the big things to come out of the latest trailer is one of the main antagonists, Lady. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, see, I'm waiting for you to pronounce it because I have no idea. I've seen it written everywhere, but I'm like, I can't say that word.
I've heard people pronounce it. I don't know if they're correct because I don't know that many Romanian people, or I haven't heard a Romanian pronounce it. But I think it's Dimitrescu. But that's beside the point. Everyone pretty much knows her as Tall Vampire Lady.
Yep.
Pretty much. So yeah, I'm assuming she's the main antagonist. I don't know that for 100% because I don't know. But so yeah, the internet's pretty much gone crazy because of her for like 2 very, very big reasons.
It's because they're all fetch and thirsty and simping for her already.
No. It's because she's like freakishly tall and she's got like Freddy Krueger hands.
Oh, that's why everyone's freaking out. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do have something to ask about because she's tall.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is gonna like sound like some loser theory, but like, is she like related to Mr. X somehow? Because like they kind of look the same. They're both like really tall, pale people.
I would hope not, because I think Mr. X was like grown in a lab or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I mean, these chicks could have been grown in a lab as well. Like maybe the main one was like made in a lab, and then she like escaped and like ran to Dracula's castle, and she's like a super zombie or something like that, which is pretty much what vampires are.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're probably gonna find some way to tie her back to like being related to like the Umbrella Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like, I don't know, one of the like founders or like a founder of a precursor to it.
Dude, no joke, yesterday I was driving on the freeway and I passed some truck that had a giant Umbrella Corporation like sticker on the back of it. I'm like, why would you put that on the back of your truck? Those are the villains. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. But no, where was I going with all that?
No, we're talking about the big villain.
Yeah, big vampire lady. But no, like one of the things I've always noticed about like Castlevania is that like Dracula is always depicted as being freakishly tall. I always thought that might just be because they want to force you to like jump to hit him instead of like, just being able to hit him from the ground. But I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, you've read the book Dracula, haven't you?
Long time ago.
Long time ago, but he's not like freakishly tall in that at all, is he?
I think he's taller than the main character, but not like freakishly tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's also really, really freaking old, like in the beginning.
Yeah. He has to drink people's blood so he can get young again.
Something like that. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've read that, so I cannot confirm. But but then there's like, I've also heard that she might be like, specifically with how her design looks, she might be based on like some Japanese like lore or legend called Hachishaku-sama, which translates to
so much fun pronouncing names today.
Yeah, which roughly translates to 8 feet tall. It's just basically a tall lady. I don't know anything else about it.
Yeah.
But
what I thought was funny was when you first see her, she's like sitting down and she's in the back of the room and she looks like a normal person.
Yeah.
And then like when she stands up, you're like, oh, she actually is really big.
Yeah. And like all of her daughters are like normal sized.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny. It's like, okay, that must be a recessive gene.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think that her daughters are more like, they play like the role of like Dracula's wives, that they're people that like are from the village that she took and bit and turned into vampires, and now they serve her.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be literally her daughters, even though they all look very similar, so it could be that.
Yeah. They're also all blonde.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, like, she's like dark haired. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
I forget how. Yeah, I don't know. I forget how that gets passed down, but that's
I'm trying
beside
to
the point.
think who in the Resident Evil universe is blonde and would have a vampire that's like 9 feet tall as their wife. Could it be Wesker? That's my theory. That's my final theory. I'm putting the hammer down. Wesker is married to the tall vampire lady.
I'm pretty sure he's dead by the time of this game.
Oh, spoilers.
Spoiler. Yeah, spoiler.
Spoilers for those games I didn't want to play anyways.
Yeah, spoiler for Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, the game looks cool. Graphically, it looks very impressive. I don't think I'd be able to run it on my computer.
Yeah.
At least not with the graphics all the way up, but it looks like it's going to be fun. I'm excited for when it comes out.
Yep. I definitely recommend checking out the 7th game, like in the meantime, because this isn't coming out till like late May, I think.
Okay.
And it's coming out for pretty much everything except Nintendo Switch and Google Stadia, because screw you, Google Stadia.
Yeah, it's already on the Steam. It's already on Steam. You can pre-order it.
Oh, nice.
Do you think I should play Resident Evil 4 beforehand? Because I kind of get a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. It could just be because it takes place in Europe. But
I would say 7, because that's going to be like, this is a direct sequel to it. Like, literally. Okay. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to assume there are a lot of story things that get tied up or whatever that branch over. Because Chris Redfield returns in this game. He kind of like makes like a cameo at the end of the 7th one, and then you got like a separate campaign for him in that game that's like DLC. I don't know how he ties into it, but I don't know. People are happy about his design in this one. He looks less like, like some weird Adam Lambert ripoff. And now
so
he looks
he the
like
dude at the end of the trailer with like the glasses and the beard?
No, I have no idea who the hell that is.
Okay, because I saw that. I was like, is that some Resident Evil character I'm supposed to care about?
No,
like, it's not
there's
Jill, it's not Chris, it's not Leon.
No, like, so I don't know if it, like, he appears in one of the trailers, but pretty much when you see a guy that looks like the Resident Evil 5 Chris, if he ate the Resident Evil 7 Chris, looks all mopey and he's like in this big trench coat. Yeah, that's the new Chris design. I should say it's the old one, but yeah. So yeah, maybe I don't know if I'm gonna get this as soon as it comes out, because I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get back to 7, but I'll definitely talk about it once I do. Maybe that'll be a good thing to talk about come Halloween.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Or the month of October. Yeah. Yeah. Whew, we stumbled through that.
Yeah, we sure did. Do you want to talk about the other like mini game, Resident Evil Reverse?
Yeah. So we got a trailer for, the multiplayer portion of Resident Evil Village.
But this is also like a separate game, isn't it? You can just buy this one separately.
I'm kind of wondering about that, because I
think you can, because it's on Steam as its own thing.
Okay.
And then, like, it says if you buy Resident Evil 8, then you can get Reverse for free. So, in summary, it's a multiplayer that, like how sometimes video games will like try to like ham force a multiplayer mode in that like nobody really wants. That's really the vibe I'm getting. I'm getting the Arkham Origins multiplayer vibe.
Yeah,
a little bit of battle mode thrown in there, just like. Okay, I'm glad that you're making something that has multiplayer, because I like multiplayer games, but is this fun? Is this something that people want?
Yeah, it's like I was getting flashbacks to frickin' 2008, when every damn game and its mother needed multiplayer. It's like after the Call of Duty 4 craze.
Yeah.
And everybody lost their damn minds. But no, like, it's like I could, like in defensive battle mode and like even, I guess, the Arkham Origins multiplayer, at least those look somewhat like close to the style of gameplay I
That's
guess
true,
for
that's true.
Origins, at least for Origins, like when you're playing as Batman and Robin, I guess that felt like the main game. But still, like battle mode's kind of built around like how Doom Eternal plays in single player, except there's 2 people playing the demons. But this is in third person, and it's like not even that. This is a Resident Evil game with like deathmatch. It's like I know they've done it before with Umbrella Corps, which everybody hated that shit. No one liked Umbrella Corps.
Also, I love how you can tell they're clearly just like ripping models from the Resident Evil 3 remake that just came out.
Yeah, that and Resident Evil 7. The version of Chris that appears in there is from Resident Evil 7, the weird looking one. And yeah, and then from the second, like the remake of Resident Evil 2, Leon and Claire and Ada. Yeah. It's like it's an asset flip.
Yeah, it's a weird choice. I'll give them that.
Yeah, and then another thing I was noticing, I don't know if this was just the trailer, but did it look like they had some like weird like comic booky like ink drop filter like over everything?
Yeah, it kind of looked like that. I couldn't tell if that was just in the like for the trailer or if that's actually going to be part of the game. I hope it's just from the trailer because it didn't look phenomenal.
Yeah. So that's going to get annoying fast. But no, this is really weird because the Resident Evil 3 remake had a pretty interesting multiplayer mode called Resistance, which, how would I compare it? Because so it's like 5 people, 4 of them are survivors, and then one of them is what's called a mastermind, and the mastermind spawns in like, I guess, zombies and then other like bigger bioweapons to try to stop the 4 survivors from reaching some objective. And that seems like more like, the main story mode. It's like I don't know why they didn't try to do something similar to that, but in the style of like Resident Evil 8. Maybe something a little bit slower paced, but nonetheless, it's like this seems so far removed from the little I've seen of Village and what I know from RE7. It's like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know.
It's funny. Do you want to talk about the other video game on our list?
Yeah, let's move on to that. Holy shit, it's almost been 20 minutes.
All right, The Medium, after 9 years, it's finally... Is it out now or is it coming out?
Oh, it's out. It's been out since... I guess it was this past weekend for us. But yeah, it's definitely out.
Okay.
Now,
yeah. That game has been in development forever.
Did you even know about it before I told you about it?
I didn't think I did, but then reading about it online, I was like, hang on, I've heard about this.
I would be surprised if I maybe knew it by a different name at some point, but I really have no clue. Because yeah, that was what was it, 2012?
Yeah, that was when it was first announced.
Yeah.
The new Silent Hill was what it advertised itself as.
Yeah, but anyway, this was made by the same team that made Layers of Fear, the Blair Witch game from years back, and I've heard it's a underrated classic, Observer, with the one and only Rutger Hauer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yep, rip in peace, big man. But yep. Bloober Team's the name of the developer. And this game came out for Xbox Series XS and PC.
Cool. So for you guys that don't know about it, it's a survival horror game. It takes place in some kind of Soviet resort.
Polish.
Well, it's in Poland, but it's Soviet era.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would make sense. Eastern Bloc.
And then the main gimmick of the game is that you're constantly popping back and forth from the spirit world to the real world.
Yeah.
I can't say it looks super scary, but it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Which is enough,
Yep. So yeah, one of the big things is that you can have a split screen. Well, yeah, you have a split screen, and on one side you see the normal world, and on the other you see the other world. I forget what they call it in this game, but the art design of the other world is largely inspired I'm putting inspired in quotes because some of it is just like almost straight up ripoff. I'm not going to be light with that. Of the artwork of Zdzisław Beksiński,
AKA the father of metal art.
Yeah, I doubt I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, I forget. I've heard it pronounced right so many times in my life, but you know what? I can't even bring myself to say it.
Yeah, Poland, we congratulate you for having like one of the most difficult to pronounce languages on Earth, and you have a Latin alphabet. We should know what's up, or some you have close to a Latin alphabet. Holy crap! But yeah, so yeah, it's inspired by Beksiński's artwork, and also, speaking of Silent Hill, for the Otherworld portions, the music was composed by Akira Yamaoka, who did the music for, like, you know, the classic Silent Hill games, like the ones that people hold in high regard. So,
nice.
I'm pretty sure they have the atmosphere nailed down.
Yeah, the atmosphere looks good.
Yep. I'm not sure I can say as much for the gameplay because from what I've seen, like I watched the Outside Xbox team do a playthrough of the demo. I think this must have been like before the game was released. I don't know how close, but from what I've seen, the game doesn't really have any like combat, which I'm just going to be brutally honest. If you want to make a game that's a successor to Silent Hill, it needs like some form of combat. There's another YouTuber I just watched his review of it today called his name's Max Durat. He summed it up pretty perfectly because like for horror games there's what he terms active horror and then like more passive horror. Or I should say there are active horror games and there are more passive horror games. So the active ones are Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and the more passive ones are Amnesia, Outlast, those kind.
Yeah.
So he was saying that, you know, for this to truly be like the next Silent Hill, it would need to be more active. Just summing that up. But he still said the game was pretty decent, nonetheless.
Cool. I can't say I'm gonna go out and play it today, but I don't know. I might check it out.
Yeah,
I think everyone should check it out. It looks interesting, you know.
Yeah, it's gotten okay reviews. Like it hasn't gotten the best. I think a lot of people are mixed on it, especially since, you know, when you say something is the next Silent Hill, people are gonna have like their expectations through the roof. So yeah, like I think going in knowing that, you know, it's not quite that might make it like level it out a bit for me. I might enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, it might be a while before I can check it out because I don't think my PC can run it. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Apparently people were having optimization issues with it on PC.
Gross.
Yeah, like I don't have an Xbox X, so, well, I don't know anyone who does.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to play it there. Yeah, it looks interesting. You know, maybe we might talk about that come October if we get around to it, but we'll have to see.
All right, last bit of news.
Yep.
Clarice on CBS. Is it Clarice? Clarice.
Clarice, yeah. All right, so it's a TV series on CBS following, like, set like 1 year after the events of Silence of the Lambs, and features Clarice Starling, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it.
Yeah, I think it comes out like tomorrow or something, maybe tonight.
No, it's not till February, I think.
It is February.
Damn it, mid-February, that's what I meant to say. So we still got a week or two.
Mm-hmm. I don't have CBS All Access, so I don't think I'll be watching this. Also, this falls victim of the, hey, it's a TV show, let's make it a crime drama. Let's make NBS, CB, I don't know, Crime CSI. That's the crime scene show, right?
Yeah.
The one that's been going on for like 200 years now, and it's like always been the same show, and like only grandma cares about it.
Hey.
What?
That show has the best actor on this damned earth. Frickin' Mark... Oh, damn, what's his last name? Mark Harmon. Greatest actor who ever lived. Do not diss that show.
Okay.
That's a Family Guy joke. I am not ashamed, though.
It works.
Yeah, but... So... Pretty much all I wanted to say about this is that this is completely unrelated to the NBC Hannibal TV series that ended back in like 2016 or so. The one that I was talking about in my Halloween recommendations. So yeah, completely unrelated to that. Has none of the cast from that or any of the showrunners for that matter. So I was kind of disappointed by that because I was like, oh, they're finally bringing it back, but nope, completely unrelated. Another thing is it doesn't seem to be featuring any like characters, like familiar characters other than Clarice, such as like Jack Crawford, the main FBI guy. And I highly doubt that the series is going to even feature like Hannibal Lecter at all, unless in like flashbacks. Because, I mean, I guess.
Well, what's like weird to me is that this is trying to be a sequel to Silence of the Lambs, but like it clearly takes place in like the modern era. But what, Silence of the Lamb came out like what, like late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah.
So has it just been like 30, 40 years, you know?
I don't know, like, because the Wikipedia synopsis says that it's set in 1993.
Oh, really?
Which would be correct, but yeah, like, I didn't watch the trailer in depth, so if there was, like, weird anachronisms, yeah. So, I mean, Hannibal didn't take place during the time of Red Dragon, so they kind of modernized that a bit, or I mean, I should say a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they tried that with this, but yeah, that is weird, I guess. So I'm probably going to be skipping this unless I hear like really good things. Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate that no one from the previous show is related to this at all, or like has anything to do with it. So I don't know if they're still planning on doing anything.
Probably not at this point.
Yeah, it's been like what, 5 years. But maybe if this does well, they'll decide to like go back and do Hannibal season 4. As long as Mads Mikkelsen isn't tied down to anything.
Yeah, which I don't think he is right now.
Yeah. All right, that has been our show.
Thank you so much for listening. If you have any other cool, grim, macabre, yeah, macabre. There we go. News. Just leave a comment, and if you have anything that you want us to talk about, we will definitely discuss it. Definitely have some exciting things coming for the channel. We should have a Doom video that's coming up in, I don't know. I don't want to say anything too soon because I don't want to rush myself on this, but it should be here in a week or two, maybe 3.
Yep,
and then obviously there's a big giant gorilla that's going to fight a giant dinosaur, and definitely going to do some Godzilla videos here pretty soon. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I'll think of something.
Yep. And then the video that I teased at, what was that? Was that the 2020 review or in review? That is not done yet. The script isn't even done, so that is getting pushed off another couple weeks. But I don't know. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to push something out too fast, but that will get done. We'll also probably be getting to Uzumaki Volume 3 at some point in the near future.
Yep.
And if we hear any news about the anime, and that is a big if at this point, you'll be sure to talk about that. We'll probably throw that into the manga review just to save on time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye.